Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It's a beautiful day this morning. The calm before the storm, right? It's supposed to rain uh, later this week, so we're kind of bracing for that here in San Diego. Hopefully, everybody will be all right. And this is in the raw, unscripted, unpracticed, unedited conversation. And, I was reading. I think I mentioned this before. I have this little calendar that sits on my desk, and every day it has like a little saying down here. You probably can't read it, but for today, it says, "An open book opens a mind and countless doors." And, I was thinking that is so true. Not just because I'm a teacher, but, you know, um, I've experienced that firsthand. When I was about, I don't know, maybe about 7 or 8 years old, my parents bought us an encyclopedia for Christmas. One of these. Back then, they had these door-to-door salesmen that would knock on your door and offer you different products. And one came by and offered an encyclopedia. And so my parents bought it. It was a big investment back then. I'm talking close to 50 years ago. And, they bought us two different encyclopedias. One was called the World Book Encyclopedia, which many of you might have heard of it. And the other one was called Childcraft. And in fact, I have those. I kept those. My parents gave those to me a few years ago. And the Childcraft one I believe was 12 volumes, if I remember correctly. And they just had a volume for different things. They were arranged in alphabetical order, so A, B, C, D. So it would have been more than 12. Well, no, it was because some of them had double letters. But anyways, the point is that I would, I really became interested in reading the different topics, and it was everything that you can think of. And so I would spend hours reading those books. At night before I went to bed, I would just sit there on my bed and read, a little bit at a time. And after a while, I finished the whole encyclopedia. I read the whole thing. And as I was reading it, I visited distant lands. I, learned about science. I learned about history. I learned about, animals. I learned, just trying to remember now. I learned about poetry. I learned about literature and different things. I was by that time about 9 or 10 years old when I finished reading it, and I was just so amazed and just in awe of everything that I was taking in. And so this quote really resonates with me. An open book opens a mind and countless doors. And there's another book that is very interesting that I later used, believe it or not, to learn how to read Spanish. And this is the Bible. I had an English Bible, and my parents bought a Spanish Bible and gifted it to us. And it was I can't remember the name of the Bible in Spanish, but it had these like stick figures as images to kind of illustrate the different stories of the Bible. So it had these images. I don't know if somebody that's as old as me knows what I'm talking about and read in Spanish, but it had different figures, and it was really something that caught my attention as well. And so I decided I'm gonna open my English Bible and my Spanish Bible, and I'm going to read in the English Bible and then find the same passage in the Spanish Bible and compare. And that's how I learned how to read Spanish, believe it or not. That's how I started to learn to read Spanish, just on my own, just reading English and then looking for Spanish, and then reading English and looking for Spanish, and just did that. I was a little older. I was probably around 10 or 11 when I started doing that. And I learned how to read Spanish. And it's a joy to read. It's just, I don't share this a lot, but I am a bookworm, and I love to read. I love to learn through reading. But back to the Bible, I want to talk about this book. It's I know many people don't have as an average, many people don't have the habit of reading the Bible. I know that at the beginning of the year, a lot of people start like reading plans, read a Bible in a year, or devotionals, or things like that. But the Bible's a fascinating book. These are some facts about the Bible that I've learned throughout the years, and some that I just learned recently that really blows my mind. Did you know that the Bible is the most stolen book? I didn't know that. It's the most stolen book. It's the best-selling book in the world. I knew that. The oldest Bible dates back to the 4th century. That's like the oldest Bible that's known. The text that's found in the Bible was written over the course of 1,500 years, 1,500 years. It's composed of 66 books, 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament, which is, it's divided into two different parts, Old Testament, New Testament. The Bible was written in 3 languages, Hebrew, Aramaic, and in Greek. It was also written across 3 continents, Asia, Africa, and Europe. And it's just, the list goes on. It's so fascinating. You can find anything in the Bible. You can find anything in the Bible that you can think of. There's scientific facts in the Bible, that facts that support science, modern day science. There's work of music, poetry, literature. You can find romance in the Bible, even some explicit romance in some books. You can find history, of course. You can find politics in the Bible. You can find what else? The list is extensive. You can find business, anything that if you are a leader in business, and there's business concepts in the Bible. Find finances. There's a lot of references to finances in the Bible. Relationships, of course. Relationships with people around you. You can find just about anything that you can think of in the Bible. And what's really fascinating, like I said earlier, it's written over a course of 1,500 years, about 40 authors, and they didn't know each other. They were from different cultures, different backgrounds, yet the whole central message in the Bible, the central topic, is the person of Jesus Christ. You can find the person of Jesus Christ in every book in the Old Testament. You can find them in the New Testament, of course, and it's just so fascinating. So with this, I encourage you, if you haven't read the Bible, you might want to start doing that. And if you've never read the Bible, a good place to start, in my opinion, is John, because it gives you a good picture of the whole message in the Bible, the book of John in the New Testament. All right. I know it went a little longer today. I hope you have a great middle of the week, and we will see you soon.